Hello and a warm welcome to Well This Week by datasloss.com. This is a weekly program, so hit the bell icon to get notification for new videos. My name is Sheetal June, Associate Editor, datasloss.com, and I will be taking you through the significant orders and judgments passed by various courts in the country and some important international news from this week. Let's begin with Supreme Court this week. In a major ruling, the Supreme Court has upheld the abrogation of Article 370 of the Constitution in Jammu and Kashmir. A five-judge Constitution bench headed by CJ Diva Chandrachud delivered the judgment upholding the removal of special status in Jammu and Kashmir. The CJI said that the centre can exercise the power of a state government under the President's rule. Parliament and President can exercise legislative power of a state under proclamation. The Supreme Court, in a ruling by a seven-judge bench, has held that arbitration clauses in unstamped agreements are enforceable. This decision marks a departure from the precedent set by a previous five-judge bench judgment in NN Global Mercantile versus Indo-Unique Flame, wherein it was held that unstamped arbitration agreements were not enforceable under the law. The court has overturned the earlier judgment and established a new legal perspective on the enforceability of unstamped arbitration agreements. The Supreme Court has refused to entertain a fresh PIL seeking a direction to the centre to intervene and restore law and order in ethnic violence hit Manipur, besides setting up of a panel experts to prepare a report on the underlying causes of the crisis and suggest remedial measures. The Supreme Court has set aside an impugned order by the Jharkhand High Court which imposed a condition of resuming the conjugal life upon the appellant as a condition for granting anticipatory bail. The Supreme Court has ruled in favour of Jindal Steel and Power Limited, observing that market value of electricity should be determined by comparing it with open market trade for power. The court affirmed the decisions of the tribunal and the High Court, rejecting the respondent's contention. The argument put forth was that an SSE was not entitled to the benefits under Section 80 of the Income Tax Act when power generated was consumed domestically or by other businesses. The court emphasized the crucial factor of the absence of a contract with the State Electricity Board and reliance on rates fixed by the Tariff Regulatory Commission. The Supreme Court has set aside an impugned award of the Motor Accidents Claim Tribunal as upheld by the High Court to award compensation to siblings of a deceased victim. The court clarified that in light of the fact that the deceased victim's brother were married and maintained separate residences, they did not meet the criteria to deemed to be dependent for the purpose of seeking compensation through insurance claims. Now let's have an overview of High Courts. In a significant development in the Shri Krishna Janmabhoomi case, the Allahabad High Court has approved the survey of the Shahi Idgah complex in Mathura on December 14, 2023. The court accepted the petition and authorized the court commission survey of the Shahi Idgah complex. The High Court of Punjab and Haryana quashed the complaint filed against the petitioner under Section 138 of the NI Act and held that the spouse will not be liable for the dishonour of a cheque signed by other spouse, merely because it was drawn on the couple's joint account, and the petitioner is not liable for the cheque drawn by her husband from the joint account relating to both of them. The Delhi High Court has observed that a court does not become functious officio just because the appellant filed a withdrawal application for the guardianship petition. The power of the family court to adjudicate the memo of the withdrawal under Order 23 Rule 1 of the Code of Civil Procedure was challenged by the appellant. The court dismissed the claim and held that the exercise of parents' patria jurisdiction of the welfare of the minor child involved in such cases. The Karnataka High Court has dismissed an appeal under Section 4 of the Karnataka High Court Act, praying to set aside the impugned order passed by the learned single judge in a writ petition and in consequence allowed the writ petition. The court observed that the resignation is a voluntary act on part of an employee who wishes to leave the service to which he is appointed. The Delhi High Court has asserted that neither legislative provisions nor traditional Hindu law imposes any restriction on a woman's right to assume the role of Karta, head, within a Hindu undivided family. A division bench comprising of Justice Suresh Kumar Kayat and Justice Neena Bansal Krishna held that societal perceptions should not be a basis for denying rights explicitly granted by the legislature. The Kerala High Court has held that law enforcement agencies can recover electronic records containing sexually explicit material during investigation, and since there are no rules for handling such records, the need is for issuance of guidelines until a law is enacted. Moving on to international news this week. The Supreme Court has agreed to take up a dispute over a medication used in the most common method of abortion in the United States, its first abortion case since it overturned Roe v. Wade last year. Prince Harry has lost a preliminary round in his libel case against the publisher of the Daily Mail tabloid over an article that said he tried to hide his efforts to retain publicly funded protection in the UK, after walking away from the role as a working member of the royal family. In the end, we have miscellaneous news. The Lok Sabha witnessed a major security breach on Wednesday. Amid the ongoing winter session of the parliament, two members jumped from the open gallery and opened a canister emitting yellow-coloured smoke, which triggered panic among the MPs. They jumped from the public gallery number 4 at around 1 p.m. when the 0 hour was in progress. The intruders shouted slogans like "Tana Shahi nahi chalegi," dictatorship will not be allowed. In an embarrassment to the Punjab police, a jail inmate was seen dancing at a marriage ceremony after he was taken for a medical checkup, prompting authorities to suspend 2 police officials, including a sub-inspector. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. This is a weekly program, and to get more information, please check the description box, and for weekly updates, like and subscribe to our channel.